Hi, everyone. This is Esther Adriana Santos. Welcome to Queen TV.
And I'm Dr. Arnessa Bennett.
We are so excited to have you on our show today. We have a really exciting segment for you. We've been having some really awesome conversation behind the scenes. And, Arnessa, you've brought some really interesting topics to the table. Let's just say we're going to talk about two different subjects. We originally started on our supplements. We want to definitely talk about supplements and lifestyle because that's what we're all about here at Queen to
Yes.
Queen. But the conversation of communication has come up for you. And
Yes.
Arnessa, you were mentioning something that you recently went through that was a challenge for you. And I love what you said because I feel like so many people that we know and people around the country and the world are really struggling with this same issue. So let's take advantage and talk about that today. So share with our audience, like what was this experience for you, like what you've been up to? And I know it's connected to this whole communication issue. So let us know what's going on.
Well, if you've been tuning in, you know that I have been helping with a campaign. A dear friend of mine that go way back years and years, when I was in politics, or at least trying to get into politics, he helped me with people sending me money for my campaign and just a lot of good stuff. So fast forward, oh my goodness, it's been years. He ran for mayor. And I knew both the people, but this particular person, he really helped me. So I said, okay. When he asked me, I said, yes, I will help you. And oh my goodness, because he was, I believe, because he was Caucasian and the person running against him was African American, and because I'm African American, I mean, a lot of people just really came for me. They came for me like nobody has ever come for me. But, I talked to my husband about it because they got really crazy toward, well, they ran and then they had to have a runoff. So then that means the election was not over. We had to campaign again for a week or so. And my husband, he was telling me, Arnessa, you are free. You have ever since I've been knowing you, you're that lady who do what the Holy Spirit leads what the Holy Spirit leads her to do. And you don't care what people like it or they don't like it, you do you. And that's what I was doing. I was helping a friend. I had to block people. I've never had to block people. I've been on Instagram since, not Instagram, but Facebook since 2009. I've never had to block anyone. Within 24-hour period, I had to block 3 people because they just kept putting crazy stuff on my Facebook page. And people gotta realize we can make choices, and our choices, as long as we can live with our choices. Because I remember my mother used to tell me all the time. She said, "With your choices, there are consequences and repercussions, and you have to make sure that whatever that is, you can live with it." And I don't have any problem, supporting the person that I did because this person had integrity. He's humble. He's a connector, a unifier of people. And it was just a win-win for me. He was the person who I was going to support. And praise God, through all the stuff, I mean, I wasn't the only one. There were other people being attacked too. There were even people who were working at the campaign polling places, and the ones that hold the sign up, and they were being harassed. I mean, like people were talking about jumping on them, like
Wow.
high school stuff. This is not the world that I choose to live in. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with those kind of people. And the best thing that you can do when people are coming at you like that is just be the queen that you are.
Amen to that. Yes.
Everything that's said to you does not have to be addressed. And that's what people are so used to. Well, I'm gonna say this to her, and she probably gonna say something to this to me.
I love it. I
I
love that.
just did.
I love that. Say that again.
Block.
Everything. I
E-
love that.
Every time, everything that's said to you does not have to be addressed. You know, people think because they say something to you, you gotta say something back. No, you don't.
You know,
Because when two people are arguing, no, you know, like say when two people are arguing, nobody really knows which one is the fool because both of them are acting crazy. So I just did not address it. I deleted it and blocked them. Deleted it and blocked them. That's how you handle it as a queen. Now, how would I look getting on Facebook and answering or rebuttaling everything that they said? I don't have time for that. I really do not have time for that.
wow. You know, this is just another one of the reasons why you and I are friends, Arnessa. And I am proud to call you a friend. You know,
Me
when you
too.
find people with the same values, like I love how you think. And I feel like as women, let's talk about women because we're
Okay.
talking about queens here, right? I
Right.
feel as women, we hold a certain standard, or we should hold a certain standard. Like women,
Yes.
we are a special breed of human. Like God made us so unique and
Yes.
so wondrously and beautifully made that I oftentimes think we forget our value. We forget who we are and the grace and
Yes.
the poise that we need to conduct ourselves as, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
throughout all this situation, you know, we've been through a whole political thing this year, the past several years, you know. I love that you and I can be on the opposite sides of, you know, us who we voted for on
Mm-hmm.
the presidential seat. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that we can still get together and have a
Oh yes.
conversation, love each other, respect each other, honor each other, and honor our decisions.
Right.
You know, like I can still say I love you after, and I knew afterwards, right? After the
Mm-hmm.
fact, and I love you the same. I can
Right.
sit with you in the same dynamic and still have this conversation, and you don't find that often. And I
Right.
had a situation, I think it was just last month, and you know, I try to be very mindful of people who are, you know, what I write, because I know that I have people from many different, you
Walks
know,
of life.
political ideas, religious ideas, like
Mm-hmm.
so many things. And so I try to stay on a neutral ground, not because I don't have I have very strong beliefs on what I believe. However, I'm not called to argue with people, right?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
That's not what I'm called to do. I'm called, like, we're called for queenhood. We're called for,
Yes.
like, beauty is, you know, part of my ministry, and argument is ugly.
Mm-mm.
You
We don't
know,
want to do that.
it's just we don't do that. We don't have time for that. And so yeah, I had a similar a situation that, you know, a friend of mine from long ago, you know, responded back to something that I put, and it's someone that I haven't been in contact with for a long time, and responded to a political statement I made, that wasn't even it was in regards to politics, but really it was a spiritual statement. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, responded in a way that I was like, wow, like I don't hear from you in 10 years, and this is kind of to respond back to this because of
Yeah.
this. And you know,
Something negative instead of something positive, something negative.
and I said, and all I did was I responded back being agreeable, just to try to piece. I didn't go against what the person said. I, on the contrary, just made a statement to just kind of peacefully agree on the issue, like, you know, amen, yeah, let's just keep on walking. And you know, and I was inspired after that post because I had to think a lot about that and really bring my heart to God, because I was hurt. You know, one thing is for
Mm-hmm.
you not to know the person, the other thing is for you to know a person. And I said, everyone is dealing with their own kind of thing. But
Yes.
here's what I believe, like, how do we find solutions to this, right? I feel like as people, there's a level of healing that we need to go through in order to not have to respond, like you said, to everything that is being said. To not be spiteful, to not be revengeful, to not have all of these things that instead of coming to love and to peace, we don't have to go there. And so,
Right.
you know, I said, sometimes, when you see a comment on your page or on your post, here's what I said. When a person, silence is most oftentimes the best answer when the person
Hmm.
that you're responding to doesn't come in a spirit of love, but in a spirit of strife.
Right.
If
Exactly.
their purpose is just to create strife, because I could comment
Yes.
back on someone and be completely loving about it, right?
Hmm.
Even if I'm not for it. But if you see that the person just goes in there just to, like,
Hmm.
you know, target you or just say
Yes.
something negative, then I choose not to respond to that. So
Mm-mm.
well done, like, well done. And I feel like we would just be in a much more peaceful world if we learned how to do that a little more.
Yes. Well, people have to understand we are free, and that means we are free to do how we choose to do as long as it's not hurting someone else.
Absolutely.
So when people get I mean, this stuff was angry and hateful and venomous, and I'm like, I'm not used to that. I'm used to people loving me and accepting me, and I'm like, where is this coming from? But I had to think about this. Desperate people do desperate things. Then I had to think about, okay, if the campaign that the other guy was running with all these people doing all this unethical stuff when it comes to the political rules and regulations, how would that person be in office? So it's like, ooh, God, thank you that the other person went, because his people were, we couldn't do anything, we couldn't say anything that didn't align with our candidate. We couldn't just go and do some stuff. Where these people were just going and doing stuff. Now I don't know if the person that they were helping knew what they were doing or not, but that is not showing integrity. If I'm helping you, I'm going to make sure that everything I do is a reflection of you. I'm not going to be just going and doing some more crazy stuff, thinking I'm helping you, but really in the long run, it was not helping. So it was a good experience. I looked at it as sometimes you can be, I've been in this neighborhood, this area, just about all my life. And I have never seen this kind of ugliness, but I think that was a red flag, letting me know this stuff does live in your community. You just haven't seen it. So it made me be more uh, aware of people and how they act. I guess I would say it was a good experience because it opened my eyes to some things.
And awareness is always good because that teaches us.
Yes.
Awareness brings us wisdom and allows us to see things that before we just didn't understand or didn't know. And
Just oblivious to it.
exactly,
But
exactly.
one thing you were saying when you said we being queens, queens encourage and edify, and that's what we are about. We're always encouraging and edifying, and we're going to keep it like that. And also, being women of wisdom, we want to share these stories so people can know if it happened to those nice ladies, it can happen to me.
Absolutely.
but you have to already know how you're going to conduct yourself when it comes. And like you said, the best thing to do is to not give it any answer. Don't give it any energy. I have, I told one girl, I said, I got 99 issues and that's not one. It's things, I got projects that I'm working on. I got contracts that I'm working on.
Yes,
And I don't have time for that. I'm just trying to help somebody, you know?
absolutely. Wow. Well, yeah, this is what it's about. Our Queen segments, we love to encourage, we love to give lifestyle tips, right? And speaking about lifestyle, let's go in and just talk about some of the things that we do in our daily life to really enhance not only this physical, outer appearance, but also the inner, how the inside functions, right? Interesting, when we logged in for this segment today, I see my friend Arnessa and I'm looking at her and I say, oh my goodness, you look so much younger since I last saw you 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, loving the hair, loving the makeup, but it's not the hair and it's not the makeup today. Like, what age are you up to today? Like, we went from 60 something
Oh,
to
61.
okay, you just turned 61, which, by the way, my dear, wow, wow, you know? And I mean, you were 40 something last week or last time I saw you. Now you're like in your 30s.
That's what my son told me. He said, you
Share
know,
with us.
I'll be 39 in January. I said, well, you can't be 39 because I'm 39.
So
But
what have you done since we last spoke? And we'll talk about that and kind of other supplements that we, kind of take on our daily regimen and daily routine.
well, speaking of my son, we are both working on our weight. And my son turned me on to this live. You probably can't see it, but it's called Active PK. And this is a supplement. It said it promotes AMPK activation. The body processes to converting nutrients into usable energy.
Ah,
And you can get this at, I got this online at Amazon. I am the Amazon queen. When I look at most of the stuff I buy here lately, it's from Amazon. And then because of COVID, one more thing my son uh, told me about, and this is called, it's from the Happy Healthy Hippie, and it's called Joy Field, and this is from Amazon also. And what I'm gonna do is link all these at the bottom of the video so that you can go online. I'm gonna try to see if I can do where you can just go online and it come to the thing. But this supports a positive mood. And with us going through COVID and everything, my son, he was kind of telling me, he says, Mother, I was starting to get kind of, he's a computer nerd, so he's always on the computer. But he said he was starting to feel not like himself. And so he does a lot of research too. And he said, I've been using these. And he said, I started taking these a couple of weeks and it's like a cloud just kind of went away. I'm like, really? He said, yes. So I've been taking these and, just to, as you get older, things kind of change. And so this is like it supports positive mood. So I've been taking this now for, to combat COVID. I have my sea moss and my black sea oil, which now I'm taking it in the field.
yes.
These are my go. Look, I don't go a day without these two
Wow.
because it has things to help with your immune system. And all the research that I'm doing about COVID and all these other things, you got to keep your immune system at peak performance. And these two things really do the trick. And then I have the omega-3 with the fish oil, and it has the vitamin D3. Now, this is good for your eyes, your brains, your bones, heart health, which I do take a little high blood pressure pill, which is just to maintain. It's for like hypertension. As you get older, and especially if you're over 200 pounds like I am, sometimes you have to make sure that that stays regulated. And then here lately, I've been hearing so much about the apple cider vinegar pills. Now, I usually do the apple cider vinegar, regular, but this is the apple cider pills. So I've been taking them. I'm gonna see how they do. And then I have a multivitamin that I take, and I feel good. Oh, one other thing I do right now, I have this is bone broth, and I put my collagen peptide in with my bone broth. And this is good for your joints. Sometimes as you get older, your knees start hurting or your hips or your back. But the bone broth is good for that. Then also the collagen peptide, it helps with the skin.
Yeah. That plump skin. I mean, now I can see, right, where that amazingly plump skin comes from. That's awesome. That is awesome.
So what you
Yeah.
get?
I have these special supplements I use. They're by doTERRA. By the way, our disclaimer is that we are not doctors. We're not nurses.
We're not medical doctors.
We're not medical doctors, correct. And so we're not, saying anything can bring healing to your body or anything like that, just suggesting some, supplements that you may want to try that may support, any kind of, your systems to help them function maybe a little better. But, I use what's called the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And I love it because it's a trio of vitamins. It's a pack of 3 vitamins. One is called Microplex VM. The other one is E-Omega, and the other one is Alpha CRS. And I love it because it's a system and they work together to give you pretty much all that you need in a day. This one is an essential oil and an omega complex, which I love how they blended these two together. It has all of the omegas, plus it has the essential oil blend is clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, chamomile in it, plus all of the wonderful omegas, and it's amazing, plus extra vitamin A, D, and E. So this stuff is phenomenal. Like, when I started taking these some years ago, I noticed the incredible energy, that I started having in my body. This other one is called the Cellular Vitality Complex. And this stuff is great. It's got, for cellular energy, coenzyme, ginkgo, alpha lipoic acid, and then it has like a longevity blend, which is kind of like an anti-aging blend. It's got milk thistle, it's got pomegranate, green tea extract, turmeric, grapeseed, pineapple, pine bark, and a bunch of other things as well. This is amazing. This is just such great stuff.
That ginkgo biloba, isn't that good for the brain or your memory?
Yes, ginkgo. I take ginkgo and I take additional ginkgo.
Okay.
Because the brain works so hard in a day, trying to multitask. I always tell my husband, I don't necessarily feel physically tired. It's my brain at the end of the day that, feels like it just goes through a lot. And so ginkgo, I take just extra. And so they say that helps with a lot of, memory function and just gives your brain that And then of course the multivitamins, that it has all your main vitamins and a pretty nice dose of that. Plus it's got a whole food blend in there. Kale, dandelion, parsley, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, and And I love this one. Check this out. It's a tummy tamer blend.
Okay, now I need to make sure I try some of that. Some
It's
tum, cause my tummy needs taming.
let me tell you. So yeah, it's gotta, so it's like, I love that it's a system and they thought of all the things together and then they divided it into what's necessary. So that's what I use as a multivitamin. And then if I need a little energy and I'm going to like the gym, I have what's called Medo to Max. And it's an energy and stamina complex and it's all natural. You know, it's not like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, any of that extra caffeine or anything like that. It's got a circulation support, which helps just your everything circulate better.
Oh,
Um,
like that.
it's ginseng, it's ashwagandha root. It's got a whole bunch of really amazing things in here. Coenzyme Q10, a really nice blend. And my dad, he takes these. I mean, he swears by these. So he doesn't go to the gym without these, and they're amazing for us as well. So I need my boost, you know, for gym and anything. And then the last one that I take, it's actually in my living room, but it's called On Guard. And this
Mm,
is for immune function. It's
okay.
for immune function. Oh, I got my assistant here helping me. So I've got, these have been a lifesaver, literally in my life.
Oh,
This is immune support. And let me tell you, the power of just natural supplements. This has, first of all, oregano. Oregano has been said that is a natural antibiotic and is one of the most potent natural antibiotics that exist on the planet.
now is it like oregano, like what you cook with?
Oregano, yes, but it's an essential oils. So it's a
Oh,
little soft smell
oh,
and
okay.
it's all essential oils. And so it's got wild orange, clove, black pepper, cinnamon, eucalyptus, oregano, rosemary, and Melissa. Melissa is a
Hmm.
very expensive oil, by the way. So I'm all things oils. Like I am the oil queen. But I do everything oil. I drink them. I wear them.
Yes.
I do. I bathe with them. I do everything oil. So these are my main supplements. And then let me share with you what I do as supplements for. I got a couple oils that are like my everyday go-to. So you mentioned mood, and that's important, you know.
Yes.
And
Especially
we
in these times.
in order to make sure our communication is as poised and as it needs to be, we need some mood function going on. After prayer or along with prayer, right? Um, there's this really cool new oil that came out. It's called Adaptive, and it's a calming blend. And
Oh.
it's got some lavender, wild orange, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli. Neroli, it's an ancient oil that's so delicious. And this is phenomenal. So I will apply this, you know, on my feet, and it helps. Like it is said that the oils will absorb in your system within 2 to 3 minutes. It will go through your entire system, and they go to a cellular level. You know how like regular oils, like um, even olive oil, if you put it on your skin, it only goes to the layer, like the top layer of your skin.
Right.
The essential oils are made in a way that they're distilled, but they go to the cellular, they go to your cell,
They go in your skin.
in your skin, but in your cells. And
Oh
so they work
wow.
in your cells and transform the cellular, because our cells are the main thing that kind of make us who we are, right? And so it goes to
Hmm.
the nucleus of the cell and really helps to work in our system, which is why they work so amazing. And I've been using this stuff for 5 years. So this is my
Wow.
stuff. I use
Now, hold on just a minute.
yeah.
Now, so do you just put it on your skin as a particular place?
Yep. So they say that at the bottom of the feet is the most
Mhm.
porous area of the body. And
Oh,
so
okay.
putting it in the bottom of the feet, it will absorb through your system a lot quicker. But also if you're using
Mm.
oil for like a pain or an ailment that will help you, for example, frankincense, right? You can apply it
Yes.
headache here. And so you just take a little bit of that and apply it on the temples, you know, of your head if, you know, you have headaches, or just if
Oh,
you
okay.
just you know, refreshing, and you know, you've gone through a tough day and you just kind of need a little more refreshment
Mm-hmm.
in your system, and it smells phenomenal, right? And
Oh,
like if
wow.
you, so you can apply it on topically. So you can use, oils are three ways that you can use them. Aromatherapy, which is you inhale them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Number two, you can ingest them. Not all oils are ingestible. Certain of them
Right.
are not. So you have to make sure you read the label. And then the
Mm-hmm.
third one is topically, which you can wear them, and pretty much all of them you can put on topically.
Mm-hmm.
So peppermint is one that you can do all three. I put a drop in my water, and it's amazing to drink.
Really?
Peppermint, I mean, if you do research on what peppermint can do to your system, it is phenomenal. You can add it to your hot cocoa. It's great for a headache, stomach pain, like it's amazing.
I have that's what I have in my little aromatherapy thing. I had some well, I thought, I said, well, you know, I had the little oil. I said, well, it's Christmas time. I'll put the peppermint in there because you can smell it all through the back part of the house. It smells so good.
Isn't it amazing? And it just gives you that uplifting smell.
Yes.
You know, I love aromas. Right now I got my candle going on. It just gives it, you know, a nice aroma. So peppermint is like, I'm actually out. I just finished it this week, so I'm gonna be placing an order this week. Yeah, and then, you know, lemon is another great one you could use in your water,
Mhm.
in your tea. If you're traveling and you're drinking tea or whatever, you can always just carry your bottle, and it's great to just, you know, help cleanse. And
Let me ask you a question.
sure.
Okay, the ones that you can actually digest, what does it say on the oil bottle so you'll know that you're getting the right one that you can take
Yeah.
in?
Um, this one, for example, it says for aromatic, this is called Balance. I have this one. It's a grounding blend. It helps to ground. It's got frankincense. It's very like woodsy. It's got spruce and chamomile, like really, really woodsy scent. So it says on here, for aromatic or topical use. To
Okay.
fuse aromatically or to apply topically, dilute with a carrier order oil to minimize skin sensitivity. So it's telling you it's only topical or aromatic, which means that you can't ingest it.
So if you want one that you can digest, is it a certain word that they should look for
Um,
that's gonna help them to know that, or will it just say this can be taken oral?
yeah, like for example, this peppermint says for internal use, dilute 1 drop in 4 ounces of liquid.
Okay, so it'll just you got to
It'll,
make sure you read your labels when you're
yeah,
going to.
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. So that's good for, I mean, pretty much everything. And they're amazing. They've been just life changers in my household and for, you know, my friends and family. So,
I,
um,
I I wanted to go back to something you said earlier when we were talking about some of the supplements that we take, and you were saying the importance of that, taking oil. I know sometimes I put coconut oil in my coffee. It is very important. I think the oils kind of help our system, the different oils that we take, uh, that we, put in our coffee or some of the foods that we eat. Do you know anything else about how important oils are for our system?
mhm. Yeah, so specifically, so there's coconut oil, but coconut oil is not an essential oil because of the way that it's done. Essential
Hmm.
oils have a very specific way in the way that they are um, not diluted. Uh,
Processed
yeah,
or
like there's a really unique process that they go through because you will apply it on the skin and your skin will absorb it unlike any other, probably can't see it down there, but
Mhm.
the skin will absorb it like automatically. So it's not like any other oil. And it's incredibly important to, you know, pharmaceutical companies mimic what natural plants and flowers do, right?
Mm,
Like
mhm.
we have plants and flowers that we use like in our tea, right? Like I'm just having some some tea as we speak, and they
Mhm.
have amazing properties. And pharmaceutical companies look to see, what does this natural stuff do and how can we mimic, and make it stronger. And
Mhm.
so I'll give you an example. Lemon, I can't remember the exact number, but I think one bottle of essential oil lemon is made with 60 lemons. It's not from
Wow.
juice. It comes
Mm,
from the skin. It comes from different parts of the oil of the fruits.
that makes sense.
And so you're getting, I mean, in a couple drops of lemon, you're getting like some real essential, powerful stuff in here.
Mhm.
And it doesn't taste like the juice, but you can absolutely taste the lemon in it. And, you just add it to your, like, I have my tea here, and I'm just adding a couple of drops to it. And so that helps with cleansing, that
Okay.
helps with, cleansing your system. And you can do like more research on, benefits of lemon oil. It's great for digestion. Yeah, just some really amazing properties. So all oils, so coconut oil is very different than an essential oil.
Mhm.
And even though it's good like to ingest, they say you shouldn't put it on your skin because it'll clog your pores. On a
Coconut oil?
yes.
Oh, I see so many people, they put the coconut oil to take the makeup off with it.
I
They put
know,
it
yes.
all over the skin.
I know, and especially for your face, because our face has a lot of different, pores, and we'll do a beauty segment, soon to come. But
Okay.
it's different in terms of what you're using it for. But absolutely, essential oils work from the inside out, which is what's really great and why they are so popular, because it works. They
Yes.
really do work. And let me say this: not all oils are made the same.
Right.
And
Right.
it's not that I'm trying to promote a company, but I promise you when I tell you I've tried a lot of different things, and the integrity of these oils that I've used,
Mhm.
there's nothing like it, to be so honest with you. I would not trust ingesting any, and I never have ingested any other oil except this one because I don't trust them. This has been just a powerhouse. So you may pay a little more, a couple
Yes.
more, but let me tell you, the quality, I prefer quality over
Yes.
quantity, and I would much rather wait to get a really good oil that's going to last.
Mhm.
And I'm ingesting, and it really just gets something that's going to, support my system, and I will be proud to, share with my friends and family.
Yeah.
So,
And you're right, because I know whenever we go to the health food store, it's quite a bit, and then online, I get some things at the health food store, some things online, but for good health is priceless. I can remember, I think it was Malcolm Forbes. I think that's who it was, because he's like a multi-billionaire.
mhm.
And he was saying that your health, he said, doesn't matter how much money you have. If your health is bad and gone, I mean, it's nothing you can do. So ours are taking care of our body and doing the things that we know we need to do. You got to keep it up. And one thing I must give myself, I guess, a pat on the back. I've always stayed active. And even though I have, gained some and lost some, gained some, I'm always active. I do stuff. I had, like, during the pandemic, I had a garden, so I was out doing stuff, and then I had my little exercises. I'm walking. I've always stayed active, and I plan on being one of those. I call myself a super ager, and if you look up super ager, it's a person who has maintained their youthfulness even in their 70s and 80s, and I I think that's why I I feel good. My mind is is clear, and I'm very creative, because if you don't feel good, your creativity starts dying, because, like, you too busy hurting to even really be able to get into that zone with God, and to be creative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that really goes to get people to understand, it's very specific, the segments that we started with on our Queen to Queen TV. We started with healthy foods and kind of like our journey into, getting healthy, weight loss, low carb situation on our first segment. And really this, we're talking about supplements because we understand the value of being healthy, that, after spiritual foundations, our body are just really, our bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit. And we have to make sure we're taking care of that. We are accountable to God for what we eat, what we're taking. He gives us ownership of our body. And you talking about free will earlier, we've got to exert our free will in a way that it's going to support our systems, our minds, because it's what we use to work in and work with. It's like the home of our soul as well. Our soul, which is what has our mind and our heart and our will, is in this body. And there are people, for example, that become get in a vegetative state in a hospital. And many times they've said that even though they're in a vegetative state, they're in a coma and they cannot, they're in a coma, but after they've come out of it, they say that they heard everything that was going on. It means that their soul is still alive. Their soul is still there, and it's alive and it's awake and it's there. But the physical body needs that support and needs to be healthy so the soul can function. And listen, we could be the queens that we've been called to be, right? And so we want to encourage, women out there to, if you felt unmotivated, and we all go through, I can't say I'm actually perfect with my supplement routine. I've got this little vitamin kit that I use and I put all my vitamins in. Am I perfect with it? Absolutely not. I've missed days. I miss moments, and I try to put one on my desk, and it's not meant to be perfect. It just means that, listen, this is my goal, and it's to be healthy, stay healthy, because we have a purpose. I have a purpose, and we want to make sure that we are there, that we are taking care of our families. And we can't put ourselves in the back burner. We can't be the ones to give to our children first before we give to ourselves, give to our husbands first before we give. That is not queenly. Queens need to take care of them. You gotta put, how they say in the airplanes, right? You put the mask on you first before you can anyone else. You can't help. You can't give to anybody what you don't have for yourself. And so
that is so true.
I just want to motivate every woman out there, and feel free to comment or email or any questions that you have. These segments are really meant to encourage queens out there, or women just really trying to upgrade their life, and women trying to get on a more healthier way of life, and motivated and inspired, really live that inspired life. So any closing comments that you have, Arnessa?
Well, I just want people, don't be afraid to experiment, because everything is trial and error. Some things, just like when I tried to go vegan, I tried it, I gave it the good college try, but it didn't agree with my system. So you have to try things, see what works. And once you find a thing that works, because right now I think I'm really feeling good. One other thing I want to say, intermittent fasting. I have incorporated that along with what I'm doing. I tell you, I feel like a new person. All my life was, I lived to eat. Now I eat to live. And it's like night and day. And with the intermittent fasting, it does something to your system where you're not always hungry. Before I started doing the intermittent fasting, I would wake up in the morning, what am I going to eat? All day long, like from one day to the next, what am I going to eat? And now I have to say, did I eat something? I hadn't eaten in a day. Okay, let me break this fast. And that's so new for me.
Wow.
I know that's God.
love that. I love that. And I love what you said. Sometimes we get discouraged because it's like there's so much out there, a wealth of information. It's like, where do I start? You got to start somewhere, right? You take
Yes,
the first step, you figure out if it works. Keep a notepad if you need to. Okay, I took this
yes,
vitamin, you know, check out how you feel on day
mhm,
1 versus day 7 versus day
yes,
14 and day 30, like, and try to figure out, okay, this works. Go to your doctor and get blood work done, and they'll tell you what vitamins you're low on. They have
yes,
found that there's so many people that have been sick and they're thinking that's cancer and all these things until they got blood work done and then realized they're actually low on a specific vitamin. Like if you're
exactly.
low on magnesium, like your body will go through some stuff
Ooh,
that you think
yes,
you're dying. And low magnesium levels can, and all you need to do is buy, a $15 bottle of magnesium, and I mean everything changes. So do your
yes.
homework, go to your doctor and get blood work done, get a checkup, and really, like, make this an amazing journey and living, the epic life, how we say, right? It's all about making sure you're taking care of you and doing it joyfully, doing it inspired
Yeah, make
and
it fun. I'm making it
fun.
fun.
Absolutely. This doesn't have to be dreadful. And so, we just want to thank everyone for just joining us on this journey. Feel free to, email us, send us a message, comment if there's anything in additional that you would like to hear or hear us talk about. We would love to share, more of, what we're doing in our journeys with you all. So thank you so much for joining us on this segment. We love you and look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, this is Esther.
Now make sure you subscribe, like, and share.